A story I never imagined I would tell. I was born and raised as a Muslim, devoted to my faith. I prayed 5 times a day, fasted during Ramadan, and followed the teachings of Islam with all my heart. I believed that by obeying these laws, I was on the path to Jannah, paradise. I never questioned anything because I thought I already had the truth. But what I saw after I died changed everything. I remember that day so clearly. It started like any other. I woke up early, said my morning prayers, and went about my routine. But something felt different. There was a strange heaviness in my chest, a feeling I couldn't shake. I ignored it and continued with my day. Later that evening, as I was sitting with my family, a sharp pain shot through my chest. It was unlike anything I had ever felt before. I gasped for air, clutching my chest as the pain grew stronger. My vision blurred, and I could hear my mother's panicked voice calling my name. Then everything went dark. The next thing I knew, I was no longer in my body. I could see myself lying there, lifeless. My mother was crying, my siblings were screaming, and the doctors were desperately trying to revive me. I wanted to tell them I was still here, that I could see them, but no one could hear me. It was as if I was trapped in another realm, watching everything unfold before me. And then, before I could even process what was happening, I felt something, a force pulling me. It was strong, uncontrollable, dragging me away from the hospital, away from my family, into a place I had never seen before. The atmosphere around me shifted. It was no longer the world I knew. I was moving at an incredible speed, as if being sucked into another dimension. Fear gripped my heart. Where am I? I had always believed that when a Muslim dies, angels would come to take them to Jannah or hold them in the grave until the day of judgment. But this was different. It was nothing like what I had been taught. I felt as if I was being pulled downward, deeper and deeper into a realm of darkness. Then I heard it, cries, screams, voices filled with agony. The air was thick, heavy with despair. My heart pounded as I realized I was entering a place of torment. But why? I had followed Islam all my life. I had obeyed Allah's commands. So why was I here? The fear in my heart turned into pure terror as I saw what was ahead. And that was when I saw him. At first, everything was still. No sound, no movement, just overwhelming emptiness. Then I became aware of something. I was floating. I looked down and saw my body lying there on the hospital bed. My mother was sobbing. My siblings were crying out my name. And the doctors were working desperately to revive me. I wanted to tell them, I'm here. I can hear you. But no one could hear me. No one could see me. I was separated from them, like a shadow watching from the other side of a veil. Panic set in. I didn't understand what was happening. Was this a dream? Was I trapped? I had always believed that when a Muslim dies, angels come to receive them, to take them to a place of rest before the day of judgment. But there were no angels, no light, just silence. I turned, looking around, but there was nothing, until I felt it, a force, a presence, something unseen but powerful. And then, without warning, I was pulled. It was like being caught in a current stronger than anything I could resist. I tried to fight it, but it was useless. I was being dragged at an incredible speed, as if the very air around me had turned into a storm, pulling me deeper and deeper into the unknown. I screamed, but no sound came out. My heart pounded with terror. I didn't know where I was going, but something in me knew it wasn't good. The atmosphere around me changed. The air became heavy, thick with something indescribable. A deep, overwhelming fear gripped me. Then I heard it, faint at first, but growing louder. A sound that sent chills through me. Crying, wailing. The sound of countless voices filled with agony and despair. I looked ahead, and what I saw made my entire being freeze. Before me stretched a vast, endless abyss. Darkness, yet not like the darkness of night. This was different. It was alive, like a presence that swallowed everything in its path. And within it, moving shapes, shadows, twisting and writhing, reaching out as if trying to escape. I wanted to turn back, to run, but I couldn't. The force was pulling me closer, closer to whatever lay beyond that darkness. No, 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 I screamed, struggling against it. This isn't right. I was a good Muslim. I followed the teachings. This isn't where I'm supposed to be. But my words disappeared into the void, unheard, unanswered. Terror took over. I had believed in paradise. In Jannah, I had been told that if I followed the 5 pillars, if I did good deeds, I would be rewarded. So why was I being dragged here? Was this a test? A mistake? But no answer came. Only the cries of those who had already arrived. And then I saw him, a figure in the distance, waiting. As I moved closer, I recognized him. My heart stopped. It couldn't be, but it was. And that was when I knew. Everything I had believed was about to be shattered.